Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. This is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. We are here, and of course, very grateful that you can be a part of this program today. Thank you for joining us. 7 a.m. is the time for the program. Is Morning Spring o'clock, where we look into critical issues of the society, speaking about the public good, everything that is worth talking about the Nigerian state and, of course, the Nigerian people. Trust us to be on these matters and even more. Femi Ojo is my name. We are back here. And when I say we, yes, Tokwe and I. Tokwe, good morning.
Beautiful morning to you, Femi.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful morning from this end. It's quite cold, but we are glad that we are alive to witness this period. All right, my name is Timito Peajijola, welcoming you to this installment of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television.
And so much to really look into and talk about. Of course, we'll do that more extensively in the course of the program. As we usually do on this program, we look at various headlines from front pages of different dailies, and exactly we will do that again today. You can join us on our various social media platforms on YouTube at Western Spring Television NG. Western Spring Television NG. Make sure it, the one with the NG is quite important. And of course on our Facebook page at Western Spring Television and other social media platforms. You have the address scrolling right there on your screen. The issues that is still being raised in Kaduna has been a source of many persons' submission, especially the initial denial of the police. Yeah. And I saw the police, the force PRO, actually on a program last night where he was defending, the force to say they can only do and respond according to the available information per time. When there was nothing to suggest such a thing happened, they said they couldn't have confirmed. And when they went further and, could confirm that, yes, abduction did happen, they came back, the same police, to say abduction did happen, and it is what it is. But then back and forth, head or tail, the issue here, the point is there is an abduction of, scores of people that are being whisked away, and what is the government doing about that? Although the explanation of the police might not cut it for many persons who feel maybe their use of words or their line of thought was quite hasty and it wasn't quite helping at the time, and it looked more like gaslighting, the victims. But it is what it is, and so where are we at this time about retrieving of those persons? And these are the issues.
I'm very glad that you touched on the fact that many people may not be satisfied with the explanation of the force PRO, and rightly so. I feel like that's the height of irresponsibility, and that is a terrible thing, because when you're wrong, you should admit that you're wrong. How you went about the matter, whatever it is, whether you have sufficient information or not, you had two different opinions, and you chose to take a side. When you say that, when you deny that something happened, it means that you're saying that it did not happen. When you say that someone is lying, someone who's telling you something has happened, you tell the person straight to his face that he's lying, then you have admitted that there was nothing of the sort. And that, to me and to other Nigerians, is irresponsibility. And what ought to have happened was an apology, to say that, oh, we were wrong. You admit that you're wrong because you're in that office based on the people's on their money and on their mandate as well. You are there to serve the people and to give what exactly the true picture of things. And when you're not clear on some things, you do your investigation. Due diligence is very important. So two things: irresponsibility and the lack of due diligence, and that is still what is being carried on. And this particular force PRO, it's either he doesn't know what he's doing, or the people who are behind him or the people who have put him there do not know what you're doing. So this particular explanation is even adding to the irresponsibility that they did in the first place. You don't say, you tell us, oh, the information that we have that is at our disposal is not sufficient. We don't know what the true picture of things are. You don't say categorically that people are lying. This has to do with people's lives, people's families. And that's what we are saying here. Irresponsibility and lack of due diligence on the part of the police.
All right. And it is what it is, actually, because the police PRO might want to do his job as, as the image maker, but then so many persons might not want, just like you said, to believe there is more. And you can't just give an escapist kind of narrative on this matter. We should be responsible better. If you're wrong, right, admit you are wrong. Actually, it doesn't kill anybody. In fact,
it gives you a better image.
Yeah, people will feel. There are many persons that will give you the knocks, and duly so. There are many persons that will give you some slack to say, okay, you are owning it. So what are you doing about it?
Yeah,
that's just the thing. It's not just by saying, oh, we are only acting based on the information available per time, and these are the issues, of course. And the issue in the Labour Party, go to another dimension, because it seems the court has said yesterday, recognized the Nadi Usman as the authentic leader of the Labour Party. And so where does that leave Julius Abure and the Labour Party itself? That is almost a caricature, with all whatever they made of the last election, whatever the gains they made with the obedient movement and all of those things. But then we look into all of that. And of course, the CAF, Confederation of African Football, has been coming out with this release of, a review of the competition, and of course, let's talk about the positives right now. As Nigerians, the team of the tournament has been released, actually, and it was dominated by 3 teams. 4 from Morocco, 4 from Senegal, 3 from Nigeria. Yasin Bono, definitely the goalkeeper of the tournament. He conceded only 2 times, so you might want, and of course it was in the final, and really the guy is good. Actually. The Moroccan goalkeeper, Akraf Hakimi, the captain of the Moroccan side, having Bassi, in Nigeria. And so what happens in the defense, there is a Nigerian captain Bassi. In the midfield, there is a Nigerian, Ademola Lookman. And of course, at the attacking part, we have Victor Osimhen. So maybe it's not a bad competition.
It wasn't. I was going to say that the first and the second team, they produced 4, and the third team produced 3. That's a very, very great win for Nigeria. And we hope that we just somehow have dominated. But getting the bronze 9 good times. We have got the gold as well.
9 good times. Nobody gets a bronze and call it a good time.
Those are good times,
especially especially for Nigeria. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
with due respect to Sudan, Ethiopia, Niger, if they get a bronze, actually they will be so happy.
But how many times?
Really? But I just
want to say that we usually...
This is not downplaying whatever they have done, actually.
Well, exactly. We should say that we have saturated.
But the aim is always on the goal.
It would be terrible, more terrible, right? If we went to that game and we didn't bring home the gold, we didn't bring home the silver, and no bronze, it would be terrible.
Nothing will have happened.
I'm just saying it would be terrible for them. I know. That's what I'm saying. Nothing would happen, but it would have been terrible on the emotions. But coming home with something to show that, oh, we went for a tournament, which is not to say that we cannot aim for better wins.
Of course, we aimed.
The fact that we have something to show, there are several people who went and they came home with nothing. That's not to say that Nigeria. I don't want us to have that kind of attitude. I want to say that yes, while you aim for the best, if you get something different, it's still and you are rewarded for that. The lesser part of the wins. It's still something. So it's a good time.
Well, I'm not saying it's not a good time. My point exactly today is in 3 phases. Number 1, we've had a disastrous competitions in the past, actually. And nothing happened. Nigerians didn't like it. You waggle your tongue and all of those things. Everybody goes back to their club. In fact, I saw the Fulham boys, because 3 of the Nigerian boys they are with Fulham in England, and they were welcomed back yesterday. You know, it was quite joy to see when Calvin Bassey, Alex Iwobi, and Chukwueze, you know, was welcome back. There's this thing, they tap on their backs, you know, a guard is formed, and you come back. And it was time of the Chukwueze, you know, the comment section was brutal. People were telling the Fulham boys, don't just tap, give him blow for what he has done, you know, that's on the human side. Number 2 is this, everybody wanted, nobody is really denying the brilliance of the Nigerian side at this time. And, you know, we were third and we got 3 guys in the team of the tournament. If we had been in the final or won the cup, maybe we would have had 5, actually, because there are some of those guys that should really, maybe Mosizako will have been in that tournament,
exactly.
and other guys. So it's a good competition. But the point I'm making is this, that, when it comes to Nigeria, right, this bronze is called, in the street language, it's called atolato. You know what it means by atolato, right? But when you're talking about the big, you're talking about the Premier League, let me throw shades now. And you're talking about Man City, you're talking about Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal,
Chelsea.
You know, hold on. Yeah, these are champions, actually. Yeah, maybe they are not doing well at the moment. Just hold on. The last season, they were champions of Europe, champions of the world, actually, when it comes to club football. So I'm not their fan, but give it to Chelsea, actually. So, but the point is, when you're talking about these clubs now, you are saying, they qualify for the Europa League. They qualify for the Thursday football action. No, that's not the point for. So if it's clubs like Newcastle, Tottenham, West Ham, and they'll be happy. That's
even
what I'm making with the third place.
Days. That's my opinion.
They do have bad plays, but when they do have bad days rather, they know that the real aim is that up there.
Exactly.
It's like you are talking about Real Madrid and you are saying, they came second, they came third. That's not where they belong.
Those are bad days.
You are the pinnacle. That's the way it should be.
That's where we belong. But yes, bad days.
But congratulations to the Super Eagles of Nigeria and to the other boys. Very importantly, before we hit the breaks, the hammer is coming from CAF gradually, actually, because you have to do a review of the competition. Algeria players, some of them were very unruly I think at the quarterfinal game we had with them, it was quite a shame. Some of them attacked the referee, even in the tunnel after the match. And many of them have been fined, you know, match time, like 4 matches, 2 matches, and even US dollars, actually. Some of them to the players, some of them to the officials, some of them to the federation. And I think the Senegalese coach has been fined
that's what I wanted
as well, because of the get off the pitch kind of attitude and all of those things. But then it's part of the competition. There will be a comprehensive review. And I think they are doing that day by day. But Nigerians, everybody, the Africans, they are waiting that you can slam the federations, you can slam the players, they can slam the attitude. They are waiting on what CAF will do about the officials, who are very abysmal. Because some of them got the worst out of these players. They took them to that level, even when the players know they have to be professional, irrespective of the provocation. But much more was desired without officiating. Some officiating with some referees in that competition, and they should be getting sticks as well, not just on the players and the federations. But we'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll let you into what the front pages of our dailies look like today on Morning Spring. Stay with us. Right, we kickstart the newspaper segment today with the Punch newspaper. Punch for today. Counter-terrorism campaign. Federal government moves to fast-track trial of 5,000 insurgents. Federal government FG moves to fast-track trial of 5,000 insurgents. With riders, military, police, NSCDC budget 204 billion naira for operations in 2026. Military, police, NSCDC budget 204 billion naira for operations in 2026. Security agencies to harvest DNA of notorious terror kingpins. Security agencies to harvest DNA of notorious terror kingpins. And court issues bench warrant against 2G Bello-linked suspect. Court issues bench warrant against 2G Bello-linked, suspect. Well, I wouldn't know. Maybe this is from a leaked memo. Security agencies to harvest the DNA of notorious terror kingpins. I think this type of information should not be a public information, actually, if you ask me, except something got wrong somewhere. If there are things that could be helpful, especially that have not been carried out, please go ahead and do that. Don't tell us. That's not part of what
you want to know.
Yeah, especially when you have not done that. Yeah. It's not really helpful. All right. And death toll hit 29 in Pakistan, more fire, dozens missing. Death toll hits 29 in Pakistan, more fire, dozens missing. Sad situation there. You can see the remains, the rack and ruins of what is remaining of that mall that caught fire, that has killed, as at the first time, 29, and of course dozens still missing. That happened in Pakistan. And the inside of the picture, shows harrowing people possibly waiting. The top one shows, people waiting for information about their loved ones. And below that, responders just at the place of the rubble, trying to see what they can get out of the place. It's always a difficult time. Nobody wants to be in that situation, especially when you can't place, when you can't, ascertain where your own person is. It can be very traumatic. Now, ICPC to arraign Ozekome Monday over UK property. ICPC to arraign Ozekome Monday over UK property. And DNA test cleared Davido in paternity dispute. This dispute has been lingering for some time. And, it took these unexpected dimension that the patriarch of the Adedejes had to grant a press interview. And for people that knows Dr. Adedeji, he's not really the ones you would call the talking type. And so for somebody like him, with his stature, to speak on behalf of the family, of course, the son is the one in the face of the storm here. But for him, even things that has to do with business, you hardly see him facing the press. For him to call for such a thing, maybe they just want an end once and for all. I hope this suffices, actually, on both sides, actually. An AU, Afrima, Hail Sanwo-Olu sponsors after award and top strip. Awujale still battle. Ogun, halt process, police, Tom Palace. Ogun, halt process, police, Tom Palace. Otis LP Block 6 reconciliation as court sacks Abure. And kidnappers hold 166 Kaduna worshippers, demand 29 million naira deposit. What exactly is that? 29 million naira deposit. And lastly, Royal Rumble, inside power struggle rocking Oyo Oba's Council. Royal Rumble, inside power struggle rocking Oyo Oba's Council. You have the Olubadan, the picture of Oba Olubadan, the Shon of Okumosho, and the Alaafin of Oyo. That'll be all from the front page of the Punch for today.
All right, let's check out the face of Daily Sun newspaper this morning. Daily Sun has the banner headline saying, Kaduna Church abduction, kidnappers contact victims' families. As the riders demand 17 motorcycles to free 177 abductees. Community requests apology from police for initial denial of church abductions. They'll return safely, Governor Sani assures. Well, two things. I am glad that the community knows that they deserve an apology from the police for the initial denial. And then the fact that the governor now has a voice to say that they'll return safely. I don't think he gave a statement when the police denied or when that thing happened.
His commissioner did. The government did. The commissioner did that. The commissioner for internal affairs did that on behalf of the Kaduna State government. So there is no way the governor can fake innocence on this matter.
All right.
Because somebody spoke on behalf of the government. That's the commissioner
alluded
for
to the fact that it did happen,
yes,
or
they said
denying.
it was, or falsehood.
They said it was falsehood.
That's what it was called.
And now there is no apology either from the government for saying that they'll return safely. So how about being on the matter immediately it happened? Now there is a request. You read one out, and this is another one demanding 17 motorcycles to free 177 abductees. A terrible time, a terrible situation, and a terrible updates there. Very terrible. But we hope that these people can be brought back
on that matter. The government said they have gone to they have asked around, no kidnapping happened. So maybe the point is, who were the people that the police talked with? Did they talk with Khan on that matter? Did they talk with the pastors of the church? I think these are issues.
If we're asking that question,
because the village said nothing happened.
There is nothing we can say that can absolve the police.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, yes, trying to allude to what you're saying. There is nothing, no matter how we look at it, all of the points, there is nothing that can absolve the police of the fact that they did not do their due diligence enough. I mean, it was Khan who released that, that statement saying that this happened. Now, the commissioner was saying that even some religious leaders denied the fact that it happened. So now, thank God you went back to that report.
Sorry,
I'm going to say that the community is requesting apology from the police for initial denial of church abductions. I'm going to say that they should demand an apology from the chairman of that local government, from the youth leader as well, from the government of Kaduna. They deserve an apology from all of these stakeholders in this, because how on earth will something happen in your community and some people are telling you this happened? Can had to even wade into the matter and say that it did happen. So if you, as a chairman of a community, do not know the true picture of things in your community, it means that you're really distant from the true reality, the true picture of things in your community. You're distant from the people. Where were you when it happened? Who had you spoken to at the time before you gave the police your own narrative? So those are the issues that these people, and I dare say that the police should not even stop at, and the community should not stop at demanding apology. These people should be brought in for questioning. What did they know? Why did they deny? Those are the questions the police really needs to ask. If this is to leave, if this terrible image is to leave their necks.
All right. Let's go back to the pages of the newspaper right here, right now, because we must be accountable. Actually, this day newspaper, Khan, initial police denial of worshippers' abduction, troubling. Initial police denial of worshippers' abductions, troubling. Demands responsibility, sensitivity, insecurity, communication. Sani visits, promises safe return of victims. An article laments audacity of bandits. Government police denial shameful, declares PDP. And just below that, at the WEF 2026 session on emerging market jobs, Mr. Wale Edimo of Nigeria with other world leaders. And just above that, to investors, do not write off Nigeria based on isolated security concerns. Do not write off Nigeria based on isolated security concerns. Seeks international support for training, equipment, says Africa's geopolitical risk overhyped. Interesting.
Isolated security concerns, really?
Well, it's on the international stage, but then I wouldn't expect that you expect him to say was actually. Is on a marketing level at that point. But then we mustn't even if we want to play to the gallery with the international community, we shouldn't do that with ourselves. Self-deceit is a terrible thing. Glencore, AFC, Mauritius Bank, Fidelity, sue First Bank trustees and receiver Abubakar Sulu Gambari. That'll be all from the State newspaper.
All right, let's check out the phase of Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Right there, the banner headline says Kaduna abduction, the denial that failed. Kaduna abduction, the denial that failed. Below the nameplate right there, just above the banner headline, 2027, No appointments for non-APC members, says Nentawe. NACON board members petition Tinubu, demand chairman's removal. NACON board members petition Tinubu, demand chairman's removal. And to the lower strip of the paper, suicide bomber kills 5 soldiers in Borno. Labour Party crisis, courts orders INEC to recognize Nina Usman leadership. Fire guards 34 classrooms in Kano school. Well, we hope that the students were not in the class at the time of the incident. All right, right here, Media Trust Group launches digital newsroom. All right, those headlines making the face of Daily Trust newspaper this morning, and we're seeing those pictures right there. Armored vehicles destroyed as a suicide bomber rammed into a military convoy in Timbuktu Triangle in Borno State yesterday. And there was a report that came in yesterday, the news, that about 20 soldiers were found in a mass grave, having terrorists inside the grave. 20 terrorist bodies in a mass grave right there. All right, in the same Timbuktu Triangle. Those are the headlines right there on Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, let's take a break there. When we return, we'll speak about issues, especially issues that has to do with your darling state, the state of living spring or should stay. Stay with us.